In this video, I'll be showing you how to use string filter within liquid code. Now, string filter basically manipulates the strings. There are various operations which you can perform on a string, namely uh, operating on the case, so like putting it everything in upcase or downcase, capitalizing the value, appending content to the string, prepending content, removing the content, either removing the first value or replacing the first value, splitting the string, new line to br, stripping the html or new line, text to html, truncate words. So these are the operations which you can perform basically on the string value. Now, to start with the demo, this is a simple Power Pages site. I have created a page named as December, and I have added one H3 text named as string filter. So I will go into the edit code, and then this will open the Visual Studio Code on the web to operate on the string value. So to start with, how do you display a string? So simple thing, in order to display a string, you just put two curly braces and then you display the string. So the string which I'm going to display is Girish Uppal over here. And I can also use a single quotes. So let me add a couple of BR over here, and I'll copy this entire thing. And instead of double quotes over here, I will use a single quotes just to show how I can display the string. And now I can also do one more thing over here. So I'll just copy this entire string, and instead of the quotes, I won't put anything. Okay, so I have three variants of it. So one with the single quotes enclosed, one with the double quotes, and one with nothing in it. So I'll just save this, sync the Power Pages site, and wait for that sync process to get completed. So in this example, we are using three different string, three same string rather, but then with an enclosement of double quotes, single quotes, and some text in it. So as you see over here, this is the output which you have seen with the double quotes. Then this is the output with the single quotes. And if you do not put anything, it won't render it, right? So as you see, it is not rendering that. But if I put this as a tag, okay, if I put this as a tag, so two example more. So I'll just close this p tag, and I will just copy this again, and this time I'm gonna just say Girish Uppal Tom, and this time I'm going to enclose this in either single or double quotes. Okay, let's see what the output is. So why I'm showing you all these things is because these are the different ways through which you can render the string content. It's very essential or important to know what happens when you include or exclude single quotes or double quotes from the string. Now as you see over here, the preview has broken. Now why it has broken is because of the text which we has just embedded within the liquid tag without a quote in it. Okay, now this the third line, this is the sixth line which you see over here, you should not use in this format. You should always enclose it in a single quotes, and if you do that, this preview is going to break. Now if you want to see the output, what has happened is you will see Girish Uppal Tom properly with a p tag, but the third output is missing now because you have not added anything within a single quote. So try to avoid this particular scenario, right? So I'll just get rid of that, and these are the way through which you can represent your string code. Now let's operate on the string filtering. Now in order to operate on the string filter, what we need to do is, again, we'll just come here, put some text over here, and this time I'll say welcome. So if I want to uh, add some text, so welcome the username over here, uh, I can use something called as an append filter. So I'll just say append, and you can just put whatever string you want. Okay. Now instead of the string, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make use of the object. So user dot full name. Okay. So what it will do, it will execute this as a liquid code, and then it will try to extract the full name from the system, and it will just render hello first name comma last name, which is hello Girish Uppal, as an output. So once it syncs, we should be able to see hello Girish Uppal as a string. So it will so welcome, sorry, welcome Girish Uppal. So what it has done, it has taken welcome as a string. It has appended the liquid code. The liquid code is user.full name, and that's why you see welcome Girish Uppal over here. And that's how you basically render the content. So I'll just put this as a break over here. So we have seen append. So append will append a string. Second thing is we will make use of upcase and lowercase. So I have the string Girish Uppal, and if I want to make this as a upcase, so I'll just say upcase, and then it will put the code in the uppercase. Similarly, if I want to show something in the downcase, I will just write the simple code. I'll just copy this, and if I want to put everything in downcase, I'll just say downcase. But in our case, I want to have some value, right? So something is in uppercase, and here let's say UPP is in uppercase. So whatever is a string, it will convert everything into the downcase. And similarly, if I take this value and paste it over here, and this time I'm gonna just say capitalize. So capitalize. So what it will do an init cap. So first character G will be capitalized and U will be capitalized. So capitalize will basically do that init capitalization of the string value. So I'll just save this, and we'll see the output of this. So sync. So first thing is upcase, second is lowercase, and the third one is init cap. So that is the first character of the string to be capitalized. Okay, so moving on to something else. That's something called as capture. Now, in capture, so capture is again a. So I'll just show you how to write capture. So if you want to capture some text, so I'll just say this is some text. Okay, so I'm just capturing some text, and I'm just storing it in a variable called as some text. Okay, so this is how you basically do the capture. And how do we end this is you use something called as end capture. So I'll just write this here, percent, close this, and end capture, and whatever text you write between this will get captured in some text value. So let me add something called as 2 sorry 1 2 and 3. Okay, so I've just added 1 2 3 and capture some text will capture those value. Okay, now this is, if you just render this capture, it will just show you. So let me just render this. So some text, so I'm just rendering. So first I'm just putting some value 1 2 3 in the capture, so in the sum text, and then I'm just rendering that value. I'm just showing you first on executing this component how it will look like. Okay, now as you see over here, like when you want to display something, you just need to put it in the curly braces, right? And here you close the curly braces properly, and you save this. Let me wait for it to sync. And as you see over here, it has rendered 1, 2, and 3. Now I have put this in separate line, but then HTML will not add that break line in it, right? And that's why it is showing me in this one plain whole line. Now, what if I want to add a BR to it? So for that, for every new line, so as you see over here, there is a new line over here, there's a new line over here, there's a new line over here, right? So for every new line, if I want to add a BR, it is simple. You just take that variable, put a filter, and say new line to BR. So what it will do, it will capture those new line, and then it will add a BR tag. So once it adds a BR tag, all those string value 1, 2, 3 will be placed one after the other. So as you see over here, it is showing me in one single line without any filter. But if I use that filter and if I just refresh the screen, it should show one below the other. So what it has done, it has added a break. It has first identified the new line and then it has added that break to it, right? BR tag. So this is how you can use new line to BR. Let me add a BR over here. And now moving on to the next part, we will use something called as prepend. Now, if you in your Power Pages application, if you have something like if you want to show, say, doctor uh, as a prepend or PhD, or if you want to add Mr. or Mrs. against a person's name, you can do that. So, say if the string is say Girish Uppal, and if I want to, if that person is a doctor, then you will just add prepend and you just add PR. So prepend is basically kind of an append, but then it will add to the start. So once you add that, you just save it and make sure that you spell it correctly. So it's prepend. And once you do that, you just again do a sync, and then this should be shown as an output. So we'll see the output in some time. Moving on, we have seen upcase, we have seen prepend, we've seen new line to BR, we have seen downcase, then we will see something called as a replace. Okay, so I have a simple code over here, and it is just a simple text. Okay, so this is my code. So I'll say Girish Uppal works on Power Pages and Girish Uppal is fine. Okay. So this is a simple text. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna replace. So I'm gonna replace Girish Uppal with say Sam Smith. I can do that, right? So what will happen is it will say Sam Smith works on Power Pages and Sam Smith is fine, right? So this will be the output. So I'll just save this. And if you want to see the previous output of prepend, I'll just refresh this and it should show me the output as dr Girish Uppal. So that's the prepend one. Let me sync this up. And then we have seen replace. Now similarly, I can do something called as remove. Okay, so if I want to just remove the text, Girish Uppal, I can do that. So I'll just say remove the text Girish Uppal. So it will remove the text Girish Uppal, and the keyword is remove. I'll just add a BR and all in front of all everyone so that all the output appears one after the another. So this is how you can use replace and remove. Now in the scenario, if you see this replace, okay, so just watch. Here it will replace with Sam Smith, right? So it will replace Sam Smith. This will remove Girish Uppal. Okay. Now, now I'll just run this and show it to you. So it says Girish Uppal works on Power Pages and Girish Uppal is fine. Okay. So Girish Uppal works on Power Pages and Girish Uppal is fine. So remove Girish Uppal. So let me sync this up. So I have created a simple code over here. So this is a string filter. So let me open the string filter and show it to you. Now this is a string filter. Here I have something called as replace first. Okay. Now what does this replace first means? It will replace the first occurrence with Sam Smith. So you can use replace variable as you can use replace filter as well. So replace, and there is something called as replace first. Now, if you want to see the code of this, so liquid tags power pages. So there are a whole bunch of liquid tags which are available, uh, and you can read through the documentation over here. I'm not going to cover everything, but then this is a whole bunch of documentation provided by Microsoft. And if you go to understand liquid filters, here you will have array filter, date filter, and then you will have string filter. Now here in string filter, you can see remove, replace. So, as you see here, remove, then we have replace, and then we have replace first. Now, in this example, when I say remove Girish Uppal, that means I want this text Girish Uppal to be removed, right? It should be removed from this, and that's it. It should return the string works on power pages and is fine. Replace, if as you see over here, replace is you need to replace with something. Now as you see over here in the syntax, replace is you specify a code and then you say replace what with what. So from a code perspective, let me go into the code over here. We have said replace Sam Smith, but replace what with Sam Smith? So we need to say replace Girish Uppal, comma Sam Smith. So replace Girish Uppal with Sam Smith. So as you see over here, this is the code. Replace this value with this value. And once you do that, then you should be able to see the output. Similarly, you can just copy this entire thing, and now this time I'm going to use something called as replace first. So I can use replace underscore first. So replace first Girish Uppal with Sam Smith. So that means if you see this code, the first occurrence of Girish Uppal will be replaced with Sam Smith. So it will say Sam Smith works on pop pages and Girish Uppal is fine. So if you want to have that string, you can go ahead and make those changes. Let me sync this. And now, as you see over here, Sam Smith works on pop pages and Sam Smith is fine because we are doing a complete replace. And here we are doing a partial replace. And this one works on power pages and is fine as a complete removal, right? And that's why it is giving us that output. So that we can use replace first, and uh, we can use remove filter. Now there are a couple of other things which we need to work on. Is say there is something called as skip, and there is something called as split, and then there is something called as stake and join. So we can use all this basic keywords. So for that we need to have some word first created. So this is how you basically create a word. Like I'll just show you this code. So it's a assign word is Girish Uppal is PMP. So let's assume this is our string. Girish Uppal is PMP. This is our string. We are assigning it to one variable which is words. And if I render this words, it will show me the words. Okay. Now let me put a break line here. Now, what if I want to just take three items from it? Okay, so if I just say words, okay, words is Girish Uppal is PMP. Now if I just say words, and if I put a filter, and I'll just say take colon 3, and I have an another liquid code which will say words, and this time I'm not going to say take three, but I'm going to say split. Split what? Split with some character. What character? I'll say space. Okay, so you split the words of split. Okay, and see what happens. Okay, so I'll just say save it, and I'll just put a br. So in this example, we are just making use of a variable assigned versus Girish Uppal as PMP. Then we are just displaying that simple string. And here we are just taking three items out of it. And here we are splitting from the space. Okay. So let's save this. Now, in the interest of time, I'm just taking three or four examples and showing you, because every time we do a refresh, it takes a while. And that's the whole purpose. So as you see over here, the first string is getting rendered. Now this is getting rendered because of this words. Then I said words take three and split. So take three is this. It will take three characters, and this is you are splitting by the space. And then if you want to remove space, then this is the way to go. So you can just say split colon by space, and then it will render the content, right? So take will give you take the first three characters, so it will just take that first three character. So that's what take does. Now the next syntax. So now we have this words. Now the words is Girish Uppal is PMP without a space over here, so you need to remember that. Now here I'll just say words, and I just want to skip. Now I can skip um, maybe four items. Skip four items. Okay, so that is one. Also, I can get the size of the word. So words dot size. So I can get the size of the word. So I can do that as well using the string filter. And the other part is shuffle and join, which I'm going to demonstrate that shortly. But let me run this. So we are doing words dot size, and we are doing the skip four characters, right? So if you see the size of that word, it will count the characters and it will display. So it is 19 character. And if you see the skip four, so skip four characters and then render all the rest. So it will get rid of first four character, and then it will show me the other values. And this is how it has rendered, right? So as you see over here, it has skipped the four characters and it has rendered the complete string. And it is taking from here. Okay, so the word is Girish Uppal as PMP. This is how it is taking those values. Now skipping is fine, but what if I want to, like I have this word, but now I want to shuffle it, or I want to join it. Okay, I can do that. So again, I'll take a different example over here. So let's assume this is an example. So a saying, basically saying is stitching time saves nine. I want to split. I want to split by space. Okay. And then I will say once it is splitted, then I want to join by comma. So how do I go about do that? So I'll say sayings. Okay. So this is like assign sayings equal to stitching time saves is nine, and you're splitting it. And then once you split that, you just say I want to join, and you say join, and join by say comma. So you can do that as well, right? So in this example, we are taking the string, splitting it by the space, and then joining it by comma. So just sync. And as you see over here, all the spaces are replaced with comma now, right? So this is what the output is all about. So it's a split, and then join. And there are other things which you can do. You can even shuffle the words, right? So if I just come here, I'll just say, oh, I want to say, so this is how you basically split. Now if you want to render the sayings, so you can also make use of array variable. So if you want to see what is the zeroth uh, word, okay, what is the zeroth word for sayings, and I just want to show you other items as well. So I want to see the first word, so sayings dot first, so you can use this way as well. And if you want to see sayings dot last, so you can even extract that index. So sayings of 0, sayings dot first, sayings dot last. Saying is a variable assigned with a string, and then you're splitting it by the space, and then you're getting those words. Also, if you go far, you just say sayings, and you can shuffle, and you can say, then you can further filter out. So once it is shuffled, I'll say I want to join it by dollar, or some variable. Okay, so just save this, sync. So once it runs, I'll explain you what I've done. So I've done a lot of things over here. So I'm iterating through the words. So as you see over here, there's a lot of things happening. A time, dollar in switch time, and saves now and nine. Why it has come this way? Sayings of 0. So sayings of 0 is that first word or the first character. So that is A, and that's why it is coming as A. Similarly, A is the first word, right? So sayings dot first. So that's the first word, and that's why it is showing over here. Now, what is the last word? The stitch in time saves 9. So I can say sayings dot index. Okay. So it has come sayings dot index. So I should have written here sayings dot last. Uh, so it would have given me, so I'll just say sayings dot first, sayings dot last, and saying shuffle, join this. Now just to show you the output properly, I'll just put a break line so that the output of this break line is clear. Sync. So once you have that word splitted, you can iterate through as if it's an array, and you can iterate through the first item or the last item or the zeroth element index or the first element index. And also, as you see over here, it has taken this entire string, and it has shuffled it. So and then you have appended it with a dollar value, right? So as you see over here, it has, you are doing a shuffling, so all this characters get shuffled, and then it gets joined with a dollar sign. So you're basically concatenating the operation, right? So first it will do the shuffle from left to right, and then it will do a join. Similarly, we have join with a comma. So this we have already seen. Like you can join the string variable words and replace the spaces with a comma. So these are like some of the values, some of the filtering options available as a part of string filtering. So you can go through this documentation. This document is comprehensive. It talks about truncating words. It talks about truncate. I haven't covered those in the interest of time, but then please explore this option. And this is like a useful thing when you are manipulating some string components within your Power Pages site. Thanks for watching.